Thank you all for coming this evening, or this afternoon, sorry. I'm a little nervous. I don't usually speak in public. So this will either be a treat or a train wreck. We'll know in about 5 minutes. Relax.
I can't hear you.
I stand before you, an average American. Alone, I have no voice of any consequence and can affect little substantive change. However, when I move with others of like mind, we have a voice, influence, and the ability to do amazing things. We the people have turned some of the bluest states red and pushed Washington back on its heels. I truly believe our founding fathers would be pleased with our efforts. I, like many of you, have done things this past year I never thought I'd do in my lifetime, and quite frankly, I've never been motivated to do. It was 1 year ago today that I attended my first Tea Party. And this speech is a fitting end to a year where it seems I've stepped outside my comfort zone more than I was in it. I've stood on street corners with signs. I've been to Washington twice. I've written my senators, congressmen, and numerous editorials to local papers. I've become a Republican so that I could join my Republican town committee and be a delegate to the conventions in May. All in an attempt to bring common sense and conservatism back to our political landscape. Now I stand before thousands of my fellow patriots, experiencing a new first, and once again, miles from my comfort zone. This past year has driven home to me the need to stay informed and engaged, and I would ask you all to do the same. Over the past 100 years, we've become complacent, apathetic, and detached from our government and politics. But I believe this, to a large degree, has come to an end. Americans have awoken, and they're learning about the Constitution and our founding fathers. We're reading their words and understanding just how brilliant the framers truly were. And we can now see clearly the undermining of the Constitution and how it's been perverted to achieve so many things I believe would enrage our founders. I've also come to realize that it's our duty to preserve and restore the American dream and American exceptionalism for future generations. It's our obligation to educate our children about their rights, the Constitution, and the true history of our nation. And then we must instill in our youth morality and personal responsibility through our own example. For their future lies in our hands, but our country's future lies in theirs. Therefore, our one true goal must be to hand the next generation a country on the mend and make certain they have the tools and the knowledge to continue what we've started. However, we have much work to do to begin mending this great country. Our government has grown out of control, and we must bring it back down to size and back under the people's control. The gross misuse of taxpayer dollars, the corruption, the degradation of our rights, all must be stopped. And any elected official who wishes to continue along these paths must be removed. It has become extremely clear that we as Americans must do our very best to never allow progressives, socialists, Marxists, or anyone who doesn't believe in our republic or the Constitution to rule in our government again if we wish to remain truly free people. You see, this is not simply a disagreement with this administration or one political party. This is an ideological battle for the direction of our nation, and we must remain forever vigilant. Or I can assure you the depths of our freedoms will someday be gauged only by the tightness of our shackles and the length of our chains. I would ask everyone here today not to let November or even 2012 be the end of this effort. We must make what's happened in states like Virginia, New Jersey, and Massachusetts a new beginning. November must be our first major victory. must make 2012 the reaffirmation of our commitment to repairing what 100 years of neglect has gotten us. I'd like to conclude with a quick story many of you, I'm sure, have heard by now. It contains one of my all-time favorite quotes from one of my all-time favorite founders, Ben Franklin. And it's proving to be exceptionally relevant in these times. Mr. Franklin was leaving Independence Hall after the signing of the Constitution when he was asked by an anxious woman, "Well, doctor, what have we got? A republic or a monarchy?" And Franklin replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." So in closing, my friends, I would ask you all this one simple question. Can we keep it?